Former Vice President Joe Biden won big in Democratic contests last night all across the country. He took Michigan with 125 delegates. He took that state by double digits. Biden also won Missouri, Mississippi, and Idaho. Washington and North Dakota, as of this moment, are too close to call. But Biden now leads Senator Bernie Sanders by 150 delegates, 820 to 670.
That makes for a difficult road ahead for the Sanders campaign. On Instagram, a leading Sanders supporter, Congressman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, said there's no sugarcoating it. It's a tough night. CBS News political contributors Robbie Mook and Terry Sullivan are here with what this means for the two candidates. Robbie was Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign manager. Terry was Marco Rubio's campaign manager 4 years ago. Welcome to you both again. Robbie, Michigan was kind of critical for you 4 years ago. You remember painfully, I'm sure, because Bernie Sanders won Michigan 4 years ago. So what does this say that he lost so big this time around?
Yeah, look, it's a big symbolic loss for him. It was a big symbolic win last time. I will point out in 2016, he only won by a point, so it's not like it was a landslide.
Yes.
So I actually was concerned for him that expectations were set really high. You know, he's been underperforming 2016. All of a sudden, he had to overperform there. He has made two statements continuously throughout this campaign. I'm going to win white working class voters, and I'm going to have big turnout that's going to transform the electorate. We just haven't seen either. And we saw his support correlated with lower turnout on Super Tuesday, and Michigan was a blow to the white working class argument.
Yeah, a lot of people are still wowed by this comeback by Biden. What's behind this turnaround?
You know, we talked about this after Super Tuesday. You had Buttigieg and Klobuchar and Beto O'Rourke come out before Super Tuesday. They brought out the biggest bat signal they could and said, this is the winner. And Democrats are starved to win this contest.
And I wouldn't underestimate his campaign. I mean, his campaign staff has taken a lot of heat by members of supporters of the vice president, but they've done a good job. I mean, they're not here on accident. This is not luck and happenstance. They ran a good campaign, and it paid off.
And just quickly to say, Biden was polling ahead in all these states for a long time.
Yeah.
It just there was a rough patch. So in some ways, it just returned to the norm.
Biden picked up a key endorsement from a mayor in a county that Trump won after Obama had won it twice. So you had an Obama to Trump, now back to the Democrats. Could we see more of that? That's really key for a victory.
Look, I think you're going to see it in going both directions. I think you're going to see Republicans endorsing Democrats and vice versa.
Really?
I do, because
that's topsy-turvy.
Well, but I mean, that's the political environment we're in now. I mean, it is so much more personality-driven than it is ideologically anymore. It's about, do you like this person? Can you identify with this person?
Yeah.
And we see that with people switching from Bernie Sanders to Joe Biden. There's a fundamental ideological difference, but it's about personality, who they like and who they don't like.
After these results, Robbie, how tough is the math for Bernie Sanders? Is this race effectively over?
It's tough, I believe, in two ways. First of all, that delegate lead's gotten over 100, and once you're into triple digits, it's basically impossible to catch up. But the other problem for Bernie is this next contest on the 17th. I think it's going to be really hard. These are states that Hillary won.
Yeah.
These are states that I don't see any reason why he's going to somehow pull ahead. And so I think the decision he's facing is soldier on and potentially face a worse night.
What do you think he'll do?
I don't know. I also don't think as Democrats we need to just apply a ton of pressure. It's March.
Yeah. There's
There's some time. I do think Biden, and we saw Biden do this last night, he has got to welcome, and I would say all candidate supporters, right? I think we shouldn't just talk about Bernie supporters. We should also talk about Elizabeth Warren supporters and other people's supporters as well. But, you know, there's time, and I think the most important thing is back off, let Bernie work.
That's a sign right there for Democrats that this is over. When Robbie says, "Oh, there's time, there's no need to force him out," that means he's a zombie candidate. It's over for him functionally, whether he knows it or not.
Yeah, well, Terry, the stock market has really taken a dive, or took a dive a couple of days ago. How might this affect the president's reelection efforts?
Yeah, I mean, this is not a good thing for Donald Trump. I mean, and largely due to the coronavirus, this is the unforeseeable that he's having to deal with, and he's gotten mixed reviews at best.
Not only with how he's dealing with the economy, but with the
virus
coronavirus
itself. I think
itself.
those are so intertwined, though. I mean, nothing has fundamentally shifted in the economy over the last week, other than the coronavirus.
Right.
He's defied political conventions before, though. People would,
Right.
you know,
Yep.
do you think, is the coronavirus categorically different from the many things that he's ducked before?
I don't know. And anybody who tells you they do know is lying to you, because who knows? I mean, look, the reports of his death have been premature a few times before, and everyone says, oh, this is the camel's, the straw on the camel's back.
Yeah.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Yeah.
Robbie,
Biden and Sanders have both canceled rallies yesterday. President Trump has not.
I was going to say, I think this is really interesting. Donald Trump feeds off those rallies. Those are how he came to become the nominee of the Republican Party, and then the president. He feeds off of those more than anything else.
Yeah.
If they take away the rallies from him, it's going to be interesting what that does to his psyche and his candidacy.
At what point will they? I mean, will someone just have to stop and say, hey, this isn't healthy?
I don't know if
He is the president.
He is the president.
People have tried to tell him this.
73 years old.
I was going to say 73-year-old billionaires generally don't change their minds. Something I figured out. And people have tried to tell Donald Trump to stop doing stuff before. It hasn't gone so well for them.
Yeah. Robbie, Bernie Sanders has been saying that the political establishment is the reason why Joe Biden is rising and he is not. You are a representative of the establishment here as the former campaign manager for Hillary Clinton. What is your reaction to that?
Look, I think a lot of rhetoric is swung around both ways on this campaign. I think at some point the voters are just speaking, right? It's just voters, rank and file voters, and people in the so-called establishment, which I think is a bit of a mirage, but let's go with it for a second. Sure, might be favoring Biden over Bernie, but at some point you got to look at those votes, and I think that's his core problem. Look, the other thing I will say that I noticed last night, which will have impact for the general election, this huge turnout we're seeing in the suburbs that really went strong for Hillary were absolutely the reason we won back the House. The turnout surge that we're seeing in those areas is massive, and I think the question for Trump is going to be, can he counteract that with turnout in more rural areas? That's a big question moving forward.
Gentlemen, good to see you both.
Good seeing you.
See you again soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.